Let's find some straight line equations. The steps for finding a straight line equation vary depending on what information you're given. But the question has to give you enough information. Here's 4 different ways that you can be given the information, and I'm just going to do a quick example for each of how to find the equation. And a lot of this is algebra, and the style with which you like to do algebra can vary as well. So there's sometimes more than one way of showing your steps. So long as it's working, then, and that you're showing your steps, it's a good method and it's acceptable. The first one, we're given the slope and the y-intercept. Well, they are trying to make this easy because straight line equations have the form y equals ax plus b. And the slope is the a and the y-intercept is the b. So the equation here is y equals 3x plus 2. Once you know what you're doing, you just have to plug numbers into the right place. Here we're given the slope again, but we're not given the y-intercept. Instead, we're given another point. So since the slope is -4, we know the equation is y equals -4x plus something. And I'll use b as my variable because b is the letter we like to use to show the y-intercept. I can plug this point into this equation. 3, 5 are xy coordinates of a point, so 5 equals -4 times 3 plus b. 5 is therefore equal to -12 plus b. Moving over here, 5 plus 12 equals b. 17 equals b. My equation is y equals -4x plus 17. There's my answer. For C, the third example, this time we're given the y-intercept, but not the slope. We're given the y-intercept in a point. So the y-intercept is 12. Therefore, I have y equals ax plus 12. And I'm given a point. So I can do a similar thing. I'm going to replace the y and the x with the x and y coordinates of this point. So 6 equals a times 2 plus 12. Continuing over here, that means 6 equals 2a plus 12. I'm going to move the 12 to the other side of the equal sign. So 6 minus 12 equals 2a. -6 equals 2a. I divide both sides by 2. These cancel. A equals -3. And now I can write my equation. Y equals ax plus 12 is y equals -3x plus 12. There's my answer. Finally, the one that takes the most time to answer is when they don't give you either the slope or the y-intercept, but they give you 2 points, so you have to use the slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is the slope formula. And I'll plug in these points. I get 8 minus 4 on the top, 7 minus 1 on the bottom, which is 4 over 6, or 2/3 if I simplify the fraction. Now I have a slope. I know my equation is y equals 2/3 x plus b, and I can plug in either of the points. I'll plug in the point 1, 4. 4 equals 2/3 times 1 plus b. b is therefore equal to 4 minus 2/3. b equals 3 1/3, or if I wish, 10/3. So therefore my equation is y equals, where is it? 2/3 x plus 10/3. There's my answer. So it took a little longer, but this is just algebra. This is something you have to practice a lot. I have encountered a lot of students who are able to get into the slope formula and find the correct slope, and then they somehow get lost before they move on to the next step. Like I say, there's more than one way to show the second step to end up with the equation. Use the method that you're most comfortable with because you will make less mistakes. Here are a few examples for how to find a linear equation.